And we have tonight a very special treat. We have 3 speakers, really great speakers. So I'd like to call on the first speaker, but first, your evaluator is David Anderson.
Yes.
Are you prepared to introduce his speech?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then I will do that.
Is this a manual speech?
That's okay. No. You can make it a manual speech. Bob Dietrich tonight is using a special speech that he will be giving at the area competition for Toastmasters. So it's a very big speech. It's one that you might have heard some parts of, but he's changed quite a bit, and I think you'll like it quite a bit. Do you want me to start your machine? Oh, you did it. Great. Bob, please welcome someone who has been a president of San Diego 7, who has also been my business partner, somebody who I care for a great deal as my brother, and Bob Dietrich, Opportunity Knocks, Bob Dietrich.
And before you start timing, I would like to mention that I am giving this speech. I gave it before in a modified version, and I am giving it again on May 2nd. So thank you very much for being the practice audience, if you will, at some level, to help me get to a point where I can present the message effectively. So thank you very much. We are living in important times. We're living in very important times. At no other point in history have our decisions, our thoughts, our words, and our actions affected our future more significantly. And let me repeat that because it's very important. At no other point in history have our thoughts and our words and our actions, what we do, affected our future more than now, more than this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, I am here today to present an opportunity of gargantuan proportions and to talk to you about what you are talking about. So please bear with me. We as a society, as a human race, have advanced technologically. And the rate at which we are advancing is increasing exponentially. In other words, every day it seems to double. It's going faster and faster and faster. I mean, we can clone each other. We can make a duplicate of Henry. We can actually do that. I used to remember seeing sci-fi movies that was possible. I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, and I'm only 38 now, and it's happening already. We can do that. We can create tiny little computers the size of the head of a pen, and they're getting smaller. They were estimating that these tiny computers can be injected into your bloodstream and start eating away at cancer cells. That's one of the ways to start curing disease in the future. So there's no question we're advancing technologically. We can contact people across the globe. We can communicate via email. So, and I can go on and on. But there's a problem. There's an inherent problem with our advancing technology. And that is that our consciousness is not advancing nearly as quickly. Now, what do I mean by consciousness? I mean that our awareness of the cause of our thinking, what we say and what we do, our awareness of the effect of what we say, what we think, what we do, and what we create, our technology, and the result. We're not aware of the result that these causes and effects will have. In other words, we are not aware of the effect our technology is going to have. And to take it a step further, not only are we not aware of the cause or the effect our technology will have, but we many times can be aware of it and not choose the higher purpose. Not choose what we know is effective for humanity. Let me give you an example. We have the ability to create cars, automobiles, that do not take gasoline, or that emit very low emissions, but we don't use it. Why not? We have the ability to create power, energy across the globe, connected from the tip of Africa all the way to the other side of the world. And we don't use it. Why not? The blueprint was created by Buckminster Fuller. Natural, solar, air, and water energy. We have the abilities to stop famine, stop food, and we don't use it. Stop food, stop hungry, stop people from starving to death, and we don't use it. And the answer is because we choose greed, we choose our own self-interest as opposed to choosing a higher purpose. Our awareness is that of a 5-year-old boy who's invented a gun. Now imagine that. I got here a chair, and sitting next to me is a 5-year-old child. And he's got a loaded gun in his hand. A gun he created. That's the awareness of humanity today. Okay? We've got this technology. We don't know how to use it, and we're not willing to take responsibility to step up and use it correctly and make choices. Make the choices that will better humanity, as opposed to the short-term choices that better ourselves. So I have said all this to set the table. To set the table for my point, the point of my speech tonight. And the point is that we as Toastmasters have an opportunity. An opportunity, as I said, of gargantuan proportions. The opportunity is that we can raise consciousness. We can elevate consciousness to a new level. We speak collectively to thousands of people on a daily basis. Thousands of people on a daily basis. Toastmasters, guests. Now I can say the same thing for humanity, but I'm talking about we are here as Toastmasters. We're here for a reason, because we're leaders. Okay? We're self-proclaimed leaders. We step into this environment not for professional reasons, not solely for professional reasons, but because we have a desire to lead, a desire to speak and be heard. And we, as Toastmasters, have the ability to speak to hundreds and thousands of people over a year's time. And things that we say are very important. I told you earlier, the things that we're saying, the things that we're doing are more important now than ever. So my question to you is, what are you saying? What are you thinking? What are you doing, especially in this arena? How are you influencing people in your speeches? What topics do you choose? Okay, are you teaching people about globalization or deforestation? Are you raising their awareness about how we can create an energy source around the world that's natural? Or are you talking about how to make a better tamale or needlepoint? Or something that maybe is not that important for these times right now? My challenge for you is to be aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're expressing as a Toastmaster, and how you're influencing, what kind of leader you're being as you're up here speaking to each one of us individually. What message is it that you're delivering? How are you going to have an effect on this planet by that message? Because you are having an effect. The question is not if, it's what effect you have. So ladies and gentlemen, opportunity is knocking. When you answer the door, what will you say? Mr. Desmond.
Madam Timer, would you time a minute and a half for us, please? And could we all fill out give Bob some feedback on his great speech? Okay, if you would start winding down those comments, please, and Leo will come by. I think Leo will come by and pick those up.
Yes, correct.
Well, that was very good, very, very good. I think I've seen that one a few times. And thank you, everybody, for giving Bob some feedback. I hope that he can use it. And the next speech is going to be a 12 to 15 minute speech. You got the time again. With a plus or minus 30-second grace at the beginning, at the end. And our next speaker is someone who's very venerable, somebody who's very close to us, our VPE, Leo Ledbetter. He's been a Toastmaster for 20 years. He's also been the area governor 5 times. Assistant divisioner governor. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's a lot of accomplishments that Leo has done in a position of leadership and around Toastmasters, and for one, I'm very grateful to have him with us. And today's speech is from the interpretive reading interpretive reading manual, and it's project number 4 called The Play, and the title of this speech, well, as I call him up, you'll find that out, but Leo Ledbetter, Window of Opportunity, Leo Ledbetter.
Yay, Leo, yes!
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and no guest at the moment. This is a read speech. It's different from a typical speech because I'll be reading it. There will be 2 characters, so I'll have to use different voices, or at least attempt to, so that you can differentiate between the characters. And I won't look at you, at least I'm not supposed to, not directly. Now, I'll try to look above you or through you or something, but not at you, because eye contact isn't what you do in interpretive reading. I'm not supposed to be talking to you. These characters are supposed to be talking back and forth, and you're overhearing this, which makes it a great deal different from a regular speech. This is a one-act play by John Augustine, first presented as a part of an evening of one-act plays in 1993. The date is significant. It was entitled Generation X. Generation X, as you will remember, was that group, that part of the population born essentially in the 1960s and 1970s. And it was an age during which sexual permissiveness was on the increase, and such activities as spousal swapping and marital infidelity were accepted by a great part of that particular group. The play is about 2 women who are in that group, and if they were born in the 60s, then they would be somewhere in their 30s when this was presented in 1993. That's why the date was important. So they are Generation Xers. These 2 are in the bedroom of one of them who's dressing.
Incredible night here that we're having to wind up our incredible night of prepared speeches. We have somebody doing their icebreaker, their first speech. We all did it. Yes, we've all done it. So here we can feel exactly perhaps what our next speaker is going to feel. Maybe not. Carolina Freitas is a very powerful woman. She's a very shining example of a woman that likes to shine. Oh my God, I used the word twice. And she's doing her icebreaker. It's 4 to 6 minutes. And she was born in Brazil, something I don't know if everybody knew, but, and she was born in 1979, I didn't know that either. So, please welcome Carolina Freitas, the depths of me, Carolina Freitas.
Yeah, come on.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As it was mentioned earlier, tonight I will be giving my icebreaker speech, which means that it is my first one. And the topic has been chosen for me, myself. Now, as some of you know, I had a bit of a challenge with this topic because it is a very deep subject, and yet it can be remained on the surface. I could just stand here tonight and speak about my childhood memories, my family, stories of my life as it is now, and it'd be fine. We'll share some laughter and some tears, maybe I'll go home and that'll be it. And by deep, I mean that if we all understood the depths of who we really are, then perhaps all of our suffering would be vanished. And that is deep. Tonight I will do both. I will share with you a bit about my history and how I got to be here, about my family, and a little bit about how my pursuit for knowing who I am became so important in my life. Maybe a little bit of insight, if I have some time. My name is Carolina de Franco y Freitas. I was born in Brazil in 1979. I have two sisters. My older sister is 2 years older, and my younger sister is 9 years younger, so there's a big difference there. And when I was younger, my mom provided us with all the love a mother can ever provide for a child, and she really demonstrated in a majestic form what the love of a mother really is. She was raised by her grandparents. She was abandoned by her parents, so she wanted to make sure that what happened to her would not happen to us. And we really had very special little things that showed our love to each other when we were growing up, and I'm going to share one of the many with you right now. I was about 7, and a pattern started to happen with us. Every night when it was time to go to bed, my sister-in-law and I, what we loved to do was stay up till later and watch TV with our mom. But my mom knew that we were going to do this anyway. And for some reason, she still sent us to bed. She knew that we were going to ask to be up for later, until later, and she knew that she was going to let us stay. But still, she would go through this process. So we would go to bed, and my sister could write at the time, and I couldn't. So we'll get a piece of paper and write in it, "Mommy, you are the best mommy in the whole world. Can we please stay up till later?" Fold it into an airplane, send it into the living room. And she was expecting us, so she would let us come for a half hour more, and that was it. So that was just one of the many things that we got to do when we were kids and share. When I was 14 years old, my great-grandmother passed away, and that was the one who raised my mom. So since her brother lived here in the United States, in San Diego, my mom decided to move the troop up the Pacific, and here I am. Now, as you can all know, moving from one country to another at 14 years old can be a bit of a challenge. Language barriers and leaving all your friends and having to make new ones. But I'm very happy to say that I've adjusted to this country very well. This is now my home. Brazil is where my roots are, and here is where I have my home, and I'm very, very comfortable with that. Over the years, I've changed tremendously, and I've also observed how the thoughts of who I am has shaped and created different forms. One of the most significant changes in my life has been defining who I really am in a spiritual sense. In the late 2000s, an experience happened to me, and it was as though someone had pulled me out of this reality, this life, dream, illusion, and showed me for a split second who I really was. And the impact of that experience was so great that ever since I have been on a pursuit for knowing what that was, and for maybe living in it for longer. Robert Powell asked in his book, A Path Without Form, could it be that at the root of all human predicament lies a basic truth about ourselves, the non-recognition of which is the cause of all suffering? And in my own words, what he was saying was that at the root of who we are lies a truth about ourselves that when recognized will free us from all suffering, that we are glory and love in the most majestic of form. And if we as a human race were to understand that, really, there would be no more war, no more arguing, no more resentment towards people that cut us off from the freeway. And I believe that we're all called to be here tonight. Perhaps maybe for this moment, and me as well, and to dive in a little bit in this refreshment. I'd like to invite you this evening to inquire upon this. In the truth of who we really are, the separate self does not exist. Mr. Toastmaster.
Beautiful.
Then if you all would take out your ballots and give Carolina some wonderful feedback for her great speech. And give us a minute and a half. Yeah. You would start winding down your comments, please. And,
Yeah.
this is that.
Can we just get a timers report real fast?
Yes, now we're moving into our evaluation portion. And what I'd like to, in the evaluation section of our meeting, I'd like to do is get a little feedback from our timer because she has to go right now. So could you give us a timer's report on the speeches, please?
Okay, everyone did great on timing. Bob was supposed to be 5 to 7 and he was 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Leo was supposed to be 12 to 15 and he was 12 minutes and 54 seconds. Carolina was supposed to be 4 to 6 and she was 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
Very
So
good.
everyone did great. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you.
Bye, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Yes.
So evaluation is important. Why? Because we get to improve. We get to see what perhaps something that, turned the other cheek, believe it or not, was something that was used in biblical times, and it was meant to, the meaning of it was to look at something from a different perspective. I don't know if you know, but that is true. And so I'd like to, this is the opportunity for all of us as speakers to improve in order to, and see ourselves from a different perspective, the perspective of our evaluator. And so with that, I'd like to bring up the first evaluator tonight. For Bob's speech, please welcome David Anderson. David Anderson.
Great speech, great topic that you have there, Bob. Very good topic, and you need to do more of that, to more and more groups to get that speech out. I like that a lot. Good choice of what you did. You had a good presence up here, good appearance, very professional, like you knew what you were talking about. It was a nice opening. Well, the opening was good. Also, I want you to know, because this is such a good message you have to give, I want you to slow down with this, though. You were going too fast. And I think if you slow down more, you get more of it across with more passion to it and more emphasis. I bet you're going too fast. So. And also, when you open up, give a question. You made a statement, give a question, like, do you believe that we're living in whatever you said? You know, a question to open up with, and have them all think about that, and then go on with the presentation. And then before you go on with it, give a little bit of an outline what you're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this tonight, we're going to talk about this important to that, and this and that, so they have a little what you're going to be talking about tonight, so they're more listening to what you're going to say. I think it'll be helpful. And also more gestures, like when you do like gargantuan, do gargantuan, like a big gesture for gargantuan. You have a little small gesture here, you kind of do like this. Do more expansive gesture for gargantuan. Do that. And for advanced, like, you know, advanced, do a gesture for advanced. These are just examples of what you could give gestures for. I wrote down. There are other ones you could do also. You'll see when you go over your notes and go more. And also when you're talking about faster and faster. Was very your speech go faster and faster. And you can go faster in that part of it because you want to emphasize faster and faster. There's some urgency to it, so that you can make more of a point. Oh, like, and also whisper here when you were doing something about our country is not advancing as quickly, whatever you said that time. So whisper, our country is not advancing as quickly as. So we're not advancing, so it makes more of a point when you whisper that our country is not advancing as quickly. Or when you had one scene where you said, we don't use it, you said something about what was burning, we don't use it. The whisper could also be here, we don't use it. For more gesture. For more impact. You know, the gesture for the other side of the world, then just other side of the world, and just move, other side of the world over here. So we get the other side of the world, more of a gesture for that too, and move when you're doing this gesture on the side of the world. And when you said, we choose green, we choose green! Make that loud when you're talking about the green part. And the point is, and then when you say the point is, move forward, and the point is. And we pause a little bit like that. Well, the point is, because you made a point, you said up in the statement over and what you are, the question is, what are you saying? What are you doing? You said, you might move with that. What are you saying? What are you doing? What are you? Remember that part you did in your speech? Move with that. To stress those points. What are you saying? What are you doing? What are you? And more drama in closing. I thought your closing was too weak for the importance of your speech. When you had a call for action, maybe say it louder and then pause at the end. Do your call for action louder and then pause before you hand over the lectern. Just pause, look around and move over. Okay, that's my. Thank you.
Excellent. And now, I think Bob might have been sandbagging it a little bit. You know, like, you know what sandbagging means? He's like saving some tricks. He's not showing off because he wants us all to come to his speaking at the regional finals. Or is that correct? The regional finals, yeah. What I just wanted to try this out. I actually meant to reverse this and I didn't. I like the fact that we do a prepared speeches section. I like the fact that we do a tabletop